Good morning, I'm Terry Scott from New Zealand. I'm a wood turner that has taken the craft to an art form, and I do this by a lot of carving and embellishment. Here's a few pieces that I've done. Now I'm finding now that my lathe time is about 10% and time off the lathe is 90%. Pieces like this I've got to be able to hold so that I can have both hands free. So what I discovered a few years back was this system here by Woodcut, the Pro-Mount. The Woodcut Pro-Mount, it's so versatile. It's certainly opened up a whole host of possibilities for my own carving and turning. The system comes with this top fitting here, the main fitting, and also a mandrel or post with the shred for your lathe. There's 7 different shreds, so at the time of ordering you can just choose the shred you want to fit your spindle, so that we can put chucks onto it. An optional extra is a bench stand, which comes here. You can either Tech screw it or bolt it to a bench, or it has what I like, the bench clamp, which means you can take this with you even on holiday and put it on the barbecue table and sit there in the sun carving away. So very easy to set up. I was amazed at the quality of this item. That just locks up on there. Other options we have are an indexing wheel, which is quite handy, but because it rotates, it's a means of locking it without keeping the handle done firmly up. This can also, I've used it as well on the lathe, not with the lathe going, but this enables me now to use the index with a router, put grooves or flutes on my actual work. It's just freeing up your hands so you're not holding the work. You can use both hands to support it and to do any carving. So another option is a post. Comes in many threads. And it does have a collet comes with it, so you can set the height. The ability to use on the lathe or off the lathe with the bench stand is an asset to me. The possibilities are endless. But what you can also do is that because there's a collet on here in the lathe, mounted in your chuck, I'd normally be using this on a table set up with a chair, so I can sit there, relax and do my carving. But what it does is you've now got able to 3D move it in any position. The handles can be adjusted by just turning the head around in the unit. But you can see now my hands are free. I can sit there, carve, sand. With the index on, I can rotate it, lock it up, rotate it, lock it up, or just use the tool rest and the handles. So from there, where do we go? We've actually got the ability to use it on a vacuum in conjunction with a vacuum chuck. I've got a vacuum on my lathe, or you can use something like this one. Plugs in, it comes with a thread in here that you can put the nipple for air, put on there. I make up with MDF a range of cups. Now that enables me to, as you would on the lathe, put the vacuum chuck on. If I'm carving my feet, I can move it around to where I want. Sand, finish, carve, like this piece here. I've started carving. Because I've got the versatility of movement, I can just sit in a chair or stand at the lathe, and I've got freedom with the piece. So coming back to pieces like this one, if I'm doing pyrography, I can set it up so it's where I want to be and where I'm comfortable. So we've got, you can make up any amount of different vacuum plates for it. Other options are, these are my vacuum plates off my lathe as well. I can put big platters on here, vacuum them on. I've just hot melt glued this piece onto the board. I can either use the vacuum or just put a couple of screws through into this particular piece here and carve away. So my hands are free. I can get the hot melt glue off later on with a heat. A lot of my work I actually leave it on the chuck until the piece is finished. So that means I can put it back on the lathe if I have to return them. I often turn a piece, pierce it and then return it so it's thinner, so you get shadow coming through the piece. This is a bit of cowrie. That can be carved. I can carve the rim, then put it back on the lathe and then do an undercut underneath the piercing or the carving, and you'll get all this different decoration. You can also use your Longworth jaws or cold jaws on the system itself. Very easy to adjust. So you've got one lever goes that way, this one here rotates it, and then also you've got the ability to rotate it in the tailstock as well. But you can see there, I can work away freely at this. It's an asset that every wood turner or wood carver needs. I couldn't do without my Pro-Mount.